Hi everyone, my name is Della Phillips. I'm an artist among other things, as well as I'm known as the Bicycle Lady. How are you doing today? I'm doing great. Now, from the collection of items that you're seeing on the desk in this video, I'm sure you can already know that I'm going to be doing a watercolor painting that you can paint along with or watch me paint. Now, as I promised, I would do this, and I'm going to be doing it on a greeting card, a watercolor blank. This particular one is from Arteza. I'm not real happy. It doesn't have that much sizing with it. So I'm basically doing a lot of things to use it up. Other people like it. It's a matter of personal preference. But still, it's not bad to practice on and to paint on. So let's get going. Now, what I'm going to be doing is, as I said it in just a recent video, I was going to do a daffodil. And if you remember from my sketchbook tour, I did a sketch of the daffodil. And that's what's on here. I don't know if you can see it that well. The lines are light, and I want to keep them light because I don't want them to show through the painting hardly at all. Now, the reference I'm using is from Unsplash. I believe the gentleman's name is Whit Jordan. And I don't have the link because I went in to look at Unsplash and I didn't see it right there. But it's definitely from Unsplash, and that's what I'm going to be using as a reference. I'll have this probably off camera here so I can see it. Today I'm going to be working flat. Many times I like to work on a very slight incline. And I must admit it has been a long time since I painted, more than a couple of years, in watercolor. So I had to do some practicing of color mixing. And I did a little swatch, quite a bit of them actually, because I've been so out of practice. But it's always good to work out your colors ahead of time, if you can. Now in plein air, you really can't spend all that time mapping out your colors and deciding what you're going to use. So this is great practice to get back into watercolor painting, and so I can go out and do some plein air or urban sketching. So let's get started. I'm going to be rearranging things to make it much more comfortable for me to do watercolor painting. Okay everyone, I'm back. We're ready, set, and we're already begun painting. I am using the little fill brush. It's like a number 2 that came with the Cotman set that I said I didn't think I would use. And this may be a good thing or a bad thing. I think it may be a bad thing because it does allow me to kind of like dab, 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 and not, do a nice sweep of color. And I also will fuss with it because, and that can lead to overworking because it's a small brush. However, you are seeing here that I'm mixing and working on the inside part of the trumpet along with the frill part of the trumpet of the daffodil. And the mixing I'm doing is with a complement color because I decided to do the shadow. I didn't want green, so of course you wouldn't be using anything with a bluish tone. That could lead to a greenish tone because that's not natural. So I was using complement to the yellow or yellow-orange. And you can check with the color wheel. I had one out that I double checked with. And I'm going back and forth and fussing with a bit here, mixing some other colors. And trying to get that combination I envisioned. I never quite did achieve it. However, I did learn a lot. And in the end, I did overwork it a bit. You'll see that later on. Now, for now, I'm just going to let you watch me paint. And I'll comment when something new happens. Now, I do use a paper that I keep in my hand, as you can see, to dab on the paint sometimes. It helps to lift off a little bit of excess color I might have gotten on there or might want to change the look of and not be so saturated. So here I'm painting further. I did do a little bit of painting onto the trumpet. Still working on that opening. Here you're seeing more work on the trumpet. I did mix up to get a little bit of a grayish tone into the yellow of the complements. And that's what I'm showing here. Again, fussing with that opening of that trumpet of the daffodil. Trying to get that line look and darken up on the trumpet itself. And you'll see some more trying to get those tones in. Now here I'm painting with petals with the darker yellow-orange, I should say, and getting the initial color laid down on it. Now later I'll come back with some additional tones besides the gradation I created by dabbing it, and pick up some of the dampness and some of the color from the color puddle. I am working I am working flat. It is a card, a 6x9 card that is taped down to a clipboard. For the painting of the petals, I do hope you enjoyed this. Let me know if you would like to see more of time lapses or more videos showing me painting and drawing actively, and I'll be sure to do that. And I will respond promptly to all comments and questions. You have my promise on that. Right now I'm off camera doing some mixing and doing a little bit more painting. And we'll just watch this for now. I'm putting in a darker tone that I mixed up, trying to indicate the shadows and the separation of the petals. And you'll see that being done. Right now on the lighter yellow, it's more of a violet, slightly red violet, and the orange color is, I believe, more of a blue violet that I was using to mix with to get a neutral tone. So I can use that as a shadow color. So working on the petals. As you see, I'm not a fast painter, even though I do have this in time lapse. I took my time. I did have to respray some of the paint, even the ones I mixed with a puddle of water. I had to add some spray back because it took more time than I expected. Then again, I don't think it's unusual because I was never a super speedy painter. And it, again, has been a while since I've called upon these skills to paint a watercolor. So it is taking me longer to do that. Overall, I'm happy with what I achieved. I still did not achieve exactly what I envisioned, but I'm sure that will come in time as I further paint and practice watercolor. And I apologize for mixing off camera. I had everything out on the table and hadn't realized that everything should have been moved up a little bit higher. I'll be more careful next time. Otherwise, I thought maybe you might have seen me mixing some things as well. Again, back fussing with that trumpet, trying to get it darker in that area. I should say trumpet opening of the daffodil. And the mix I used, again, was a complement. You saw me go into the gray. I mixed earlier a darker gray with the deep yellow-orange, which would have been, I believe, a blue-violet. As you see down the corner, that is brownish, slight brownish gray and gray that I'd mixed earlier. And I was trying to see how that would look on the trumpet, and I thought that would give it a good definition and darken it up well. Again, I am fussing with it because I'm not getting exactly what I want, and being far more definitive with my color choices and glazing. And I just attribute that to the fact that I haven't watercolored in so long because I just didn't have the supplies. Now I'm beginning to get the supplies, and granted, in the past I saved up to get my color pencils, the light fast color pencils you've seen used in some other drawings, and then some additional neo colors that you've seen in the past couple drawings as well. So I'm very happy with all that, even though I did have some neo colors that survived the move quite a bit actually, and I still needed to get some of the new colors, and I'm glad I did get them. So here I am working on some of the shadow, as you see from the mix of the petals, and then I'll be coming back in with the other colors and definitions. Again, I'm just going to let you watch me paint. Doing some mixing, coming back in again with that grayish yellow color. Working on the shadows. Now normally if I was, I guess, a little more confident in doing the watercolor and the mixing, and had more practice or exercising my past watercolor skills and building on that, I would have not had to done as much. And that's the reason why I say it's probably dangerous that I was using the small #2 watercolor paintbrush that came with the Cotman set. So I believe definitely I'm going to be removing that and putting that aside, away safe, and that way I'll use at least a #4 pointed round. I believe should be small enough to handle everything I need it to do. Still working on the petals, fussing around with some of the shadows, and using some of the gray mixture I had pre-mixed up, that I already mixed up earlier in the painting. And I guess we'll just watch me paint right now. And you see I was painting it and shadowing it so you can see where the petal turns a bit. And gives the petal more interest than just, it has some a little twist turn to it, which is what I liked about the picture that I showed earlier. That's my reference photo that was from Unsplash. Okay, now I took some time to mix up what some people call a paper. It's a brownish membrane, or it is like a paper that goes over the stem end that the bud came out of, and it's more of a light tan, brownish yellow with various imperfections or craggliness, I would say, which gives the whole thing a lot of interest, I think. And this is a common feature with any type of daffodil or jonquil, some people call. In the Midwest, sometimes they refer to them as Easter lilies because they come up at Easter time, even though there is another type of lily that is often also associated with Easter and many of the bouquets you'll see at that time. Now I'm beginning to paint the first color in the upper petal. No real shadowing right now, just getting some of the color on there and doing a slight dab so I can get a little gradation from what I laid down. Now I've gone back after mixing some more again, the complementary gray tone, where you take the yellow that you're working with and use its complement. And in the orange case, I believe that is blue violet. I'll have to look it up, but anyway, I'm still fussing with it, and I'll just let you watch as I further try to darken it and not quite get what I'm looking for. Then you'll see me dab it and go back again. It was a back and forth situation here. I did get it to where I was somewhat happy with it, even though it's not exactly how I envisioned it. Let me know what you think of the final product. I would love to hear from you. And I will respond promptly to all comments, suggestions, requests, and just leave me a comment below. Also, if you don't mind, please subscribe to the channel. I'm in the effort of trying to get 150 subscribers, at which time I am planning a little giveaway of a couple nice things I hope people would like to celebrate that I got to 150. Now, some YouTubers, that'd be nothing because they have so many subscribers, but for me, it would be a real thrill to get to that level. And granted, when you get to 150 subscribers, you're still not making any money on YouTube. No money whatsoever. You have to have a lot more subscribers and a lot more views of your video. But it would be a milestone that I would be very happy with and proud of. So please help get me there by subscribing. There's no cost. Just click on the subscribe button, and if you want, click on the bell icon. That way you'll be notified of when I post my videos. And here I'm messing with trying to darken up the area with the trumpet with, again, some mixed grays. And I think I'll just let you watch me paint or fuss over this the shading of this trumpet a little bit. There you're seeing the petal being painted with the lighter yellow, I believe, on top of the orange yellow. And you'll probably see that how I'm using the color to get further definition on the shapes of the overlapping petals and so forth. Still fussing over the trumpet. I might have to do some more daffodils, and this coming up after some more practice. Hopefully I won't be messing with it and overworking it like I did this one. And I think I still will do some more daffodils and do it on the watercolor card blanks. I am in the process of trying to use it up since I'm not real happy with the card and its sizing, so to speak. It's Arteza. It doesn't mean it's bad, and it doesn't mean they're not nice. It just doesn't have the amount of sizing I would normally like in watercolor. And you definitely can't use mask on it because it's too soft. So I'll be using those cards and to use them up. It'd be good practice. And I can still do a fair amount of, I would say, pretty good painting. Let me know if you agree with me. I think I did a pretty good job here, especially knowing how long it's been since I had done any watercolor painting. And create some more cards that could be used in next Easter. So that way I'm using up the cards, I'm not wasting anything, I'm getting experience and practice in, and I can still send them out as Easter cards. So I think it's a win-win all the way around. Hopefully the person who gets the card will like the card and think it's a great card. So that would be another win. Okay, I'm mixing up colors here. As you can see, I switched around where the filled box was and where the additional palette. I'm using additional palette rather than just the filled boxes because I'm at home at my desk and it's just more convenient to do so. If I'm out and about, I could just use the filled box and I would have to clean areas for mixing, excuse me. But why do that when I'm at home at my desk and I can go ahead and use the additional palette. I do see that this view does show you my ice water cup, and I hope that it's not offensive to you to see that. I guess it's not good practice really to have your ice water there, but it's in a large enough cup and away from where I was using the little cup on the field box as my water container, that there's no way it could get mixed up. Although, and you know, you can always knock it over and cause havoc. So I do apologize for setting a bad example of having that on my desk. I'll work on not doing that anymore. I am now putting in the green and bluish. It's kind of like a gradient from a bluish green, dark green on up to where there's a little bit of light that causes that to gradiate of the green stem of the daffodil, and which is down from the paper part of it where the bud came out of it. So now, if you've enjoyed this video, I do hope that you will consider subscribing and clicking on that bell notification. Please help me get to 150 subscribers, and I planned a little giveaway of a couple nice things. I look forward to achieving that goal. Granted, it doesn't cost anything for you to subscribe. And people say, oh, that will help you make money. Well, number one, you have to have a heck of a lot of people subscribing than 150 and watching the videos. So don't worry about that. It would just give me a milestone saying I've achieved this much. So I do ask for your help. So please subscribe. And if you want to be notified of whenever I publish a new video, click on the bell icon so you'll be notified. Thank you for watching this video. I do appreciate it very much. Let me know what you think. If you want more of these type of videos, I will promptly respond and see what I can do about getting more of the videos if that's the type of video you'd like to see. Until next time, you have a wonderful day.